And it's crazy because all I kept picturing is when you were like, I need like 8 dicks, blah, 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 blah. Like, and then I was reading this book. And I was like, not her asking for that. And this is what we're getting. What?
And then we got all the dicks in every hole. Like,
Literally.
And it goes a little something like.
Thanks for tuning into the Spicy Booknook, where we discuss all of our favorite and not so favorite dark and dirty book series. We're your hosts, Aj
and Tay. So without further ado, let's get into it.
today we will be reviewing Losers by Harley Laroux. Please be aware that there will be spoilers and explicit content for mature audiences only. Subjects in this book include mental illness, trauma, child abuse, physical and emotional abuse, body shaming by a parent to their adult child, parental rejection, bullying, instances of homophobia or biphobia, and discussions of suicide. This book also contains graphic sexual scenes, intense sequences of BDSM, graphic violence, and strong language. All sexual scenes depicted are consensual. Some scenes include C&C, consensual non-consent role-playing. Other kinks include erotic degradation, humiliation, bondage, electrostimulation, domestic discipline, impact play, knife play, bodily fluids, including blood, public play, pain play, voyeurism, and pet play. And please be aware that this list is non-exhaustive. Yeah.
Alrighty. What did you rate this one, friend?
Um, like 10 out of 10. This is probably my favorite dark romance that we have read,
I
honestly.
think so. I loved this book. It was so good. So good. So good. I was honestly shocked that I liked it this much. I didn't I just wasn't really sure what to expect, reading it, but very happy. Very
V-
pleased with the outcome.
Very pleased. Super pleased. I feel like everything that you can expect from like a real dark romance, it was in there because all the complaints that I've had in other books about like they didn't mention this, they didn't do that. Like this book had it. Like it had storyline, it had very good character building. It had tons and tons of smut, but it was fucking disgusting and filthy as fuck. And I loved every second of it.
I want to say this is probably the smuttiest book I've ever read.
Oh, not even probably.
Like,
It definitely is.
like, not even gonna lie. This one really, like, when we got into it, I was like, oh my God, this book is nasty as fuck. I love it here.
I love it here.
Love it. It's so good. I really enjoyed this one. So basically, a short synopsis is we have our main character Jess, who is like the typical popular girl, and of course she has her, like bougie ass friends who are all shitty people, and
Right.
they pick on the losers. So it's kind of one of those stories, and she obviously is mean to them and like goes along with it because that's what her friends are doing, but deep down inside she actually like has a thing for the losers. And so we have then our other main characters. There's 4 of them, so this was one girl, 4 guys. We have Vincent,
Whoop, whoop.
Lucas, um Manson, and who am I forgetting?
Uh,
Vincent, Lucas,
Lucas,
Manson,
Manson,
and Jason.
Jason.
And so they're like obviously, the weirdo, the loser kids, and Jess pretends that she doesn't like them, but she is very intrigued by them and she just can't seem to stay away. So one day her friends end up breaking in to the guys' house. They all live together, and like destroying the cars on their property. And they run away and leave Jess there. So when the guys come out, they find her there, and they pretty much pretty much she becomes theirs in a sense.
Yeah.
There we go. And her car breaks down. They are mechanics, so pretty much to pay her debt to them,
Yeah, because
she
she don't want to ask her mama for the money.
yeah, she pretty much just has to do whatever freaky shit they say.
And
And
baby, there was a list, okay? They
they're
sent her home with a fetish list and was like, hey, you need to mark what you like out of it, and then, come back and let us know if this is what you really want to do. And she was marking 5 out of 5 for everything.
I'm gonna tell you, my girl Jess was down. Okay, she was down. Like she did not care about. She's like, baby, I want y'all so bad. I'm gonna try whatever y'all got on this damn list. It's fine. Like
Everything.
she did not care. She was like, okay. She was kind of like, I'll try anything once. That was her vibe.
No, for real. Like she was like, I mean, if it's there, let me try it. And I'm like, baby, nipple clamps. I don't know if that's for me, but go ahead, baby. I mean, she was doing a lot too. Like, I
I
feel
don't think.
like she agreed to a lot more than just nipple clamps. But
Yeah. So I will say this was the first book that I read where it was like male, female, and then male, male as well. Because I feel like a lot of the books I've read, obviously, it's been like the guys share the girl, but they don't do anything with each other. Like it's kind of just
yeah, same.
like even then, even when they do all sleep together, it's like
They're
two,
focused on
two
the
or
girl.
three on one girl, not like he on him, she on him on her, you know?
Yeah,
So this was the first book that I read like that. And I wasn't disappointed.
not at all. Like,
Was
I felt
not
like
disappointed.
there was a scene where I can't remember who it was. Um, but he was like fingering his booty hole, and then he he like they just started getting it in, and I was like, okay, like I think it was one of the first sex scenes, and I was like, this is interesting. Like I've never actually experienced like reading this, but it was well written. I was intrigued.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Like I didn't know. I was like I didn't know what to expect. Um and I thought like who was it that was like in love? Like Jason and Vincent, right?
Yeah, Jason and Vincent, I
And
believe.
I really thought they were cute. I was like, oh, they're so
They were a
cute.
cute
Like
couple.
they were so cute. And I really liked the love that like all of them shared for each other because obviously all four of them was doing whatever the fuck they was doing prior to Jess.
Prior.
But you could tell like they all just like really wanted each other to be happy, and I love that. Like when they were at the car meet or whatever, and Jess was discussing that with who was it with Manson, I think she was sitting with, and she was like telling him like how it really makes her happy to like
Hmm.
see them happy, and they were saying like that's how they don't get jealous is because they all love each other and they all want each other to be happy. So each and every one of them's joy brings the other one's joy, and I was like that's so sweet.
It really
I
was
was
like
like, wow,
everyone.
what a sweet concept for such a dirty, nasty, disgusting book.
No, for real. Very
I
much
was like,
very sweet,
oh,
but filthy as fuck.
I was like, it's so sweet. And that's the thing. There would be scenes where they're just so like, oh, super sweet. And then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, now she's doing this. He's putting this in her. She's on him. And I'm like, wait, what? Whoa,
No, baby,
whoa.
when Jessica asked Lucas to piss on her, I was like, oh my God. Like, baby, I didn't think she was gonna be down for them golden showers, but she did it.
I I will say Lucas was my least favorite.
I agree with that. I would say I
Which
agree with
is
that.
so weird because normally like when we read like a reverse harem, I always like the one that is the most like vain. That's like ugh, I don't want to be with her. I don't like her. Like I normally tend to like the one that's like pretending like he doesn't like her.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. This time I just like Lucas just wasn't my favorite. Like I was like he's okay, but like I wasn't really feeling him.
He was a little crazy. I feel like it was Lucas one even at the end, like he had asked Manson to like burn him with that cigarette, and I was like, bro,
Yeah.
you're going far. Like, I don't know if your pain is my pain. Like,
Now, this fan art for Lucas, gr-
banging.
be,
Okay.
like, okay, he wasn't my favorite, but the fan art, it's fan arting, okay?
Yeah, he looked good.
I
Okay.
will say, like, if you had to choose, who was your favorite?
Um, I would say probably Vincent. Vin
I
and
think,
I
like,
like Jason.
I'm torn between Vincent and Manson.
I like
I
Manson, but he was full his life is full of drama, like, and
I
I just like
know, but he like from the beginning was so just like I feel like I liked Manson because even though all the shit that was going on, like from the beginning, he was always like very forgiving of her.
that's true.
And he was also really good at like holding his emotions together. Obviously, when his dad came back in town, he kind of snapped. And it showed what kind of person he was because he felt like so terrible for like just seeing him angry, like he's like,
Mhm.
I grew up in a house where, there was anger and he just felt like so terrible. And it just showed like he was such a good person. And I loved him. He was my favorite. I would say him and Vincent. And then Vincent, I don't know. He just Vincent was just the one.
Vincent was the one. When it
He
came to
was
the bedroom, he was
he was that
wild and I
man.
liked it.
He was that man, okay? So I don't know. I'm like those two were definitely my favorite. And Manson, he is definitely like I want to watch. He was definitely a watcher.
He was a watcher. He definitely was. He was. And I don't know, I feel like Vincent was just like I don't know, he gave very just he gave fine as fuck because I would have gave him whatever he wanted. Like this book was wild. Like reading it, I was like, this is disgusting, but great. Like I mean that in the best way. Like there was a scene where like I was like, I'm not like he called her a toaster strudel. Somebody
Yeah.
called her a toaster strudel and she was like covered in nut and I was like, "Oh my god." Like that's so wild. Like this book was so wild.
But like they for some reason they always had like some sweet ass little names for her and I was just like I love this. The pet names in this book were just like
They were
yeah,
good.
call me a princess, like please.
I
Okay.
didn't like Manson wanting to be called master. I'm not a fan of that, but other than that, there were some really good
But
pet
sir,
names.
sir got
Sir
me.
is my
I
favorite.
was
Oh my
I was good
goodness.
with sir when she was calling him sir. I was like, oh, okay. And then like I loved how like she'd be joking around with them and she'd say something slick and then they would make sure to put her back in her place. Like
Oh,
okay.
always.
Like they always were like, okay, you getting a little too crazy. Like you better chill out. And she would always like, oh yes sir. Like
Yes,
oops.
sir. I
Like
love
my
being
bad.
a yes sir girly. Okay.
Yes, sir. Literally. I was like, and they kept this, they kept calling her just angel, princess, baby. I was like, ugh, I love these pet names. They're just everything.
Angel was that shit. Like I was like,
Every
okay.
yeah,
I'm
and that
like,
was the thing. I'm like, to have a book where one man is a talker is one thing. To have a book where four men are talkers, like
four.
what the fuck are y'all trying to do to me here? What are you? I'm like, what is in this book? What is in this book? It was crack. It
It
was crack.
it it was crack. It was full of fucking smut and as some smut whores, like we definitely enjoyed it, okay? Because this book it was it was everything I expected it to not be. Like I was like reading like when I was getting the book, I was like, "Oh, okay, it's going to be, just um more like male romance and male female romance occasionally, but like not any smut. Like I thought it was going to be more about the romance, but this book gave it all. Like it had romance, and I love that it had romance on both sides, and then also as like you said, everybody loved each other, and like it was very much like a mutual love and respect in the household that they had. So I loved that. But they also, everybody was fucking each other. Everybody was,
Girl.
I mean, everybody was fucking each other. It was wild.
And I loved it. I was like, yes, everybody just be happy. Like, everybody be happy. I loved it. I think that I really was happy with Jess's character development because in the beginning she was getting on my nerves. I'm like, girl, these friends don't even like you for real. What are you
Yes.
doing? Like, so that was like, obviously there's moments where it's just like, you be annoyed with the character because I'm like, girl, get it together. I'm like, you like in high school, I get it because obviously when you're a kid, you just want to fit in. But like the fact that she came back to town and she's a grown ass adult, letting other grown ass adults dictate what she does.
Right.
Girl, I'm
Grow
like,
up.
don't fuck them people. You are a grown woman. Why are you over here trying to let some high school friends dictate what you do with your life? You're literally a grown adult. And her mom was on my damn nerves.
Her mama was the worst. Oh my God. I really wanted to just pimp slap the fuck out of her. Cause like, what is your problem? Like, why? She even said something about like she always has to have her nails filled in. And I was like, why does your mom care about that? But then she also referenced how like she was like toddlers and tiara kind of, and now
Yeah.
was like 2 years old wearing full face of makeup and shit. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. Like your mom needed her ass kicked.
Yeah. But like when she was like eating, and remember like she was eating with one of them and she was like trying to justify like, oh, well, I didn't have anything to eat. And they're like, why are you telling me this? Like, just eat your food. I think it was Manson who was like, you like, why are you explaining to me? Like, just eat your food. What was that one friend she had, Danielle? I couldn't
Yeah.
stand her ass the whole,
The whole
because
time.
she was just so rude, so bitchy, so judgy. I was like, girl, why
I
do
heard
you
someone.
why do you care? Like, if Jess is doing what Jess is doing, that's her business.
That is her business. The fact that everybody was trying to be in Jess's business and Jess wasn't like stepping to him and saying, this is my
She
business.
wasn't. She was
Like,
still trying to like hide. And girl, like,
you're grown. You don't
what are
need to
you
hide from
hiding for?
anybody.
Because even when she went to that party and they were trying to destroy Alex's car, I they would have been like talking about the rumors, and yeah, the rumors is true. I'm fucking on all four of them. What? Like, what? I'm a grown ass adult. What are y'all? I don't
Exactly.
care. Like,
Who's going to stop me?
if that's what y'all, y'all can think what y'all want to think. But yes, I'm fucking on all four of them, and I don't care. So there's that.
Like, period. Okay. Because, Jason fucking Vincent and I'm fucking all of them. And that's just what it is. Okay.
I really thought Jason and Vincent were so cute.
They were the cutest. They were one of my favorite little pairings.
They were so cute. I think like Jess and Manson was just unmatched because I
Yeah.
just feel like even towards the end of the book when I forgot which one of them was telling Manson like she loves you, and he's like no, like I don't think that's possible, and they're like dude, like you don't even understand like how she looks at you, how she is when like you're around, like she loves you. And I feel like throughout the book she had a bond with each character, but I feel like the bond she had with Manson was like so much different than the other characters.
I agree. I agree. Her and Manson were very much like they just had more history, I feel like they were
Yeah.
closer in the history. Cause I mean, babe, she had fucking Jason's name saved as homework dispenser, and I was like, oh my God, you're not shit. Like, she's not shit for that. And so like the fact that like she kind of grew as a person, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I really felt like her and Manson were just like, but I don't know, something about Vincent just, he was just a sweetie. He was
He
such a
was funny
sweetie.
too.
Like I will say, like his personality was 10 out of 10. Like Lucas was just like fucking mean. I feel like Jason was like, he was like a mix of like serious but still could have fun. I think Vincent was probably like the most laid back to me. Like he was just, pretty laid back and
Yeah.
chill. And then Manson was just kind of, he acted all mysterious.
Yeah. They were all like made of
Maybe that's
stone
why I
though.
liked him.
Like every one of them had like a stone cold personality. Like they were just like very hard up at first, cuz like even with the whole like her car breaking down and like the whole deal being made, like they were just like they would have scared me, child. I don't know if I would have said yes. I probably would have, but damn, like the way they approached her, I was scared.
But like the thing that's why I'm like Jess is a team player because when I tell you she acted like she didn't have no reservations about anything they was about to ask her to do. Like she was like, yes, yes, a million times. Yes, I don't care. Like I'm gonna do whatever it is. And I was like, girl.
Yes, she
I'm
was
like, you're kind
acting
of
the hell up.
crazy. Yeah, she was really like didn't have no fears about anything. And I was like, that's crazy.
And I'm like,
Cause
baby, I got all the fears.
literally, I just, and then it was just like to read a book where literally every sex scene is good is like, she really did her thing on this book. Because,
Harley wrote the
because,
fuck out this book,
because some
okay?
of them, you'll read it and it's like, some of them, when I read like some of the sex scenes, I just like skim through it. Cause if it's just like not good, then I'm like, I like don't care. Like, I'll just kind of skim through it. But I will say, like, every sex scene in this book was 10 out of motherfucking 10.
Yeah, literally everyone. I enjoyed every single one. And it was crazy because I was thoroughly surprised because I didn't know what to expect. This is my first
Mm.
time reading a book where everybody shared everybody, and I just I didn't know what to expect, and I'm glad that we read it because it was great.
Girl, once I got to the video game scene,
Oh
I
my
was
god.
I was damn done. I was like, oh my god, what the hell?
I was clutching my pearls. I'm not
I
even gonna lie to
literally
you.
I was like, not him doing all this stuff to her while all the other men are listening on the headset.
And she was wilding because she was like, I want to say she was talking about Jason, but she was like, I wish he was here to like stick his cock in my mouth
Yeah,
and shut me up. I was like, bitch, you're wild, but okay, I'm for it.
the whole all of it was just like I was like, oh my god. And then it's like the fact that the other guys were on the other end, like not able to touch her. It was like everybody was just so, like the sexual tension was literally through the roof in that scene.
Through the
That
roof.
was my favorite sex scene, hands down. Like hands down. I was like, yeah, that's the one.
I'd have to
That's
say same. I really have to say the same because like I said, I was clutching my fucking pearls. That was such a good scene. Like, oh,
it was so good.
this
I
book
was
was
like,
so good.
the sexual tension was just at an all time high in that scene. I was like, God damn, what are y'all trying to do right now? Like, what are y'all trying to do?
10 out of 10. 10 out
Like,
of 10 for this book.
I I have both books because when I get books, I just buy both, like whatever the series is. And
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sure, like, for one, this is a thick ass bitch. Okay, once I seen it, I was like, damn, I don't know, that book kind of thick. And then we finished it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna read the second one.
Oh
Definitely
yeah.
excited because I was like, I don't know, the first one we'll see, like if how I feel. I really want to finish the series, but I was like, damn, that was a good ass book. Now I'm gonna read the second one
And
because
I was gonna ask you that too. I was like, this book was so good. Like, I really want to read it for next Friday if we can.
I loved it. It was so good, and yeah, I think we should because I'm just not ready to be done with the boys.
Me
I'm really
either.
not. I really enjoyed them. I'm not. I don't think one book with them is good enough. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and finish it out.
I'm for it. And so if you're for it, I'm for it. The next week's episode is definitely Losers Part 2.
Yes, so I would recommend this book if you are just filthy disgusting like we are, because we are just disgusting individuals. So this book was great. If you're not really a smut reader, then this probably would not be the book for you.
Yeah, do not read this if you don't
Or
like smut.
if you're homophobic, this definitely would not be the book for you.
Yeah, that's another one because this book has a lot of gay sex and
Yeah.
it is absolutely amazing, and I say if you can give it a chance, but
Yes.
don't judge this book because
Don't
it is
don't judge us
amazing.
though, because yeah, it's definitely
It's fucked up. It's
it is,
wild.
but it's so good. So I would recommend it absolutely. If you're really into smut, then yes, read it. It's really good. It has a really good storyline. I loved it.
Loved it. Yeah, I'm for it. Highly recommend. And catch us next week with part 2.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
And it goes a little